I mean, serving as, SRC president, it's a great privilege and also a learning experience. But what I can say has been one of our notable achievements is always addressing the challenges of the students. Student representation, it's really there. We're on campus, we're visible, and we're accessible to the students. So any issues pertaining the students, we're very quick to table it to management, and we're very fortunate to have a management with an open door policy, so it's never really on the basis of did you make an appointment or so forth. They're very, very open to receiving us, the student body, and which honestly makes it very easy for us as well. One of the challenges, achievements I can say we've achieved is the decentralization of graduation. Previously, our graduation was only held here in Windhoek, but this year alone, I can't say history has been rewritten, but it has been made. We had a winter convocation in Ongwediva as well.
Okay. Interesting fact that you've mentioned challenges, and I've been a student myself as well, and you often find, I would say, a number of students that always come out with complaints and what so forth. And obviously during the election period, there are probably some promises made. As we speak now, have some of these promises been achieved? Yes, you did mention of a few here, but are some of the students happy with what you guys have done so far?
Yes, I can confidently say that to an extent, we've really tried to keep up with the promises that we the students, student leaders have made. I'd like to give an example of one of my very own promises. When I ran for presidency, what I said during our manifesto was that, I want to see students take up space. Being a first-year student, being a second-year student, I've always, wanted to take up space, not just, outside of campus, but just, even within the structures that are already there on campus. Like, I want to be the chairperson of the debate society and so forth. But often, many a times, you would see that students really have the potential to lead these societies, but what's holding them back is the fear of the unknown. Like, what if I fail? What if I don't make it? How will my peers perceive me, and so forth? So I made it, for lack of better word, I made it a mission of mine, and I said this during the manifestos, that I would want to create an environment where we just encourage students to take up space. If you feel like you are really into it and you're capable of doing it, don't let that fear, don't let the fear of the unknown stop you from going for it. And currently, as we speak, we're working towards having our leadership workshop, where we just invite students. This is, of course, after exams have concluded now. Early next semester, looking at the first month, to just bring students together, bring renowned leaders together. Of course, I'm also going to speak. I don't have much experience, but I am the SRC president. So, just having leaders come in and talk to the students, inspire and motivate the students to just go for it.
And is this initiative also welcome to campuses outside Windhoek?
Most definitely. I wouldn't just want to limit it to my constituents, which is now the IUM community, but also just individuals who are interested in also attending the workshop. I'm definitely not going to limit it.
Okay. Take me through. I have a very interesting question. I know for a fact that you tend to find different SRCs at the different campuses, right?
Yes.
And you've spoken of manifesto. And obviously the school is also then built based on one foundation, one mission, one goal. And again, prior to elections, everyone is competing to take up the seat of being the SRC president. But do you guys also share the same vision and goals with the SRCs from the campuses outside your constituency now?
Outside my constituency. I can't really say, because sometimes our goals are there to meet the needs of my constituents, for instance now. So in most cases, most likely, because if you look at the issues surrounding students.
Yeah.
They're very common. If it's not a student being able to write exams because of financial issues, it's most probably NSFAF. If it's not NSFAF, delaying payments, it's most probably accommodation, and so forth. So to an extent, they might be similar, the goals, but to a certain degree, they might also not be so similar. Because if you look at different institutions of higher learning now, for instance, IUM has a girls' accommodation. Triumphant doesn't. So what I would want to advocate for might be different from their SRC president, because they don't have, while we have, but it's not really open to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are there perhaps talks in motion in terms of building an accommodation for boys as well? I mean, you spoke now of girls' accommodation. But
Yes.
there's those talks.
I mean, we are advocating for it. We do bring it to the attention of management. I can't confidently say that there's something being done about it, but I can say that, with our management, we're very hopeful.
Okay.
Yeah, we're very hopeful.
Okay. Now, coming to you personally,
Yes.
I mean, obviously you also have a life outside what you do, and you have a life outside being the president of the
International.
of IUM, basically, in short. Yeah, I don't want to happen to start there, but what made you go into this whole thing to say, look, today I believe I can, and I want to run for being the president of the institution? What got you there? Even prior to you going to the institution itself as a first year student, did you ever envision yourself of becoming the SRC president one day?
No, I didn't actually. Which is why when I look back, I'm just very surprised with how far I've come. I never envisioned it for myself, but I think I always wanted more for myself.
Okay.
When I was first year, I saw people campaigning, and I was very surprised. I was involved as a campaigner. I would campaign for my friends here and there. And I never really thought for myself, like, okay, maybe you should do it one day. I didn't.
Yeah.
Until one day I thought to myself, but why not? Why not? You often encourage people to go for it, but you're holding yourself back. And I think one of the things that really held me back was also the fear of, what if I lose? What will people talk? What will people say about me? And when you lose publicly, it's like, it's a bit demoralizing. So I decided to go for it, mainly because I wanted to stand out from my peers. I wanted to grow. I wanted to grow in terms of, my public speaking. I wanted to grow in terms of, like, who I surround myself with, the types of conversations I have, and so forth. So that's mainly what encouraged me to just go for it. And I mean, what do I have to lose?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, again, interesting. I mean, based on what you said there, gets to show that you've decided to take the step to grow out of your shell. But take us through again the election process. I know times like that tend to be intense, because one day you can open your WhatsApp and you just find everyone sending you forms to say, please vote, please vote, please vote. But just take us through that process. How was that for you? I mean, campaigning in front of people, competing against your peers and so forth.
Yes, so it was a bittersweet experience. It was the days, I mean, the highs were like really high, and then the lows were like really low. So you don't really know the support you have until it comes down to it. I was very scared, especially the day prior the manifestos, because manifestos sort of show you just how much support you have, because of the people in attendance. Those are the students, those are the people that are going to vote, and so forth. So fast forward to the day of manifestos, the support was really there, but then the support was also really there for my opponent. So I thought, it's okay, it's going to be the battle of the fittest now. The campaign generally in itself, the election process was really fun. You run around campus, you ask the people, please vote for me. Some of them will even ask you, why should we vote for you? And you need to cook. You need to tell them that, listen, this is the vision, this is the mission, and with me, this is the campus life you foresee. And even after that, when you go home, you still need to fight on the groups. You need to send your poster, you need to send your memes, and also the content you really need to market. It's a whole process. One would think you're actually applying for a job because it's really hectic. And I think our campus, in terms of campaign elections, is one of the most active, because even during that period of campaigns, elections, you can just see how vibrant and active the students are, because everyone is running around. You cannot even differentiate between a student and the lecturer, because you are just approaching everyone in that moment. But it was also a bit bitter, because some days you're just discouraged. You think that, oh, man, is this really worth it? And IUM has 3 branches in Windhoek. So you're not just at main campus, you need to commute to Independence campus and also City campus, which are now in town.
Okay.
So it's really heavy. You need to have a strong mind for it, and you need to be prepared for anything. But all in all, it was a really fun experience. Would I do it again? Most definitely. But
Okay, again, did that discouragement come from, because I know in cases where people have to come together, let's say the students have to compete on one becoming an SRC representative or one becoming a president, you often find that you tend to compete against people who are influencers outside the elections.
yeah,
That ever come to your mind? Say, look, I'm competing against someone who might have a very strong social standing, and
yes.
do I really stand a chance here?
Do I really stand a chance? Yes. I did question myself in that regard, but not really because the opponent had a strong social standing, but because I just felt like they were a bit more exposed, to the student community. When you're running in a space, many a times it's often people outside, your friends, that see that, look, you can actually get it, rather than the individual in themselves that's actually going for it. So I was very scared, because I felt like I was not as exposed as my opponent. But what really mattered is the work that you actually put in during the campaigns. And one thing I can confidently say is that I worked very hard. I barely slept, and can only thank God the hard work paid off.
Okay, I mean, that's good. What you said there around about.
That is the Forum of Chiefs, and the name Okanjota, it is where we establish it.
Okay.
Because we call the chiefs together, and those who were interested, they came.
Okay.
And up to now we have about 8 chiefs.
Okay.
Who are members of that forum.
Okay. And by chiefs, what do we mean? These are people ruling over certain jurisdictions within the Ovaherero areas? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay. No, wonderful. Now, one of the things that you have said in this statement, which I thought was quite a strong statement in a good way, is the emphasis on business unusual, because that is the language of President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah in terms of how she rallies her government. And you think, as an assembly, you also think that the approach to this subject must be business unusual. If you can expound on what you mean by that.
Well, business unusual is that, the issue of genocide comes a long way.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 1904, 1908. And even before that, there were also attempts. But anyway, the major kind of battles that is actually happened during that time. Yeah.
So basically, we are saying that in terms of, you sound in this statement as if you're not satisfied with the trajectory that this matter has taken, and that you want things to be done a bit differently. How differently do you want things to be done going forward?
I think the difference, how differently we want to see it. This issue comes a long way.
Yeah.
And we cannot come just to repeat the same thing all over and over. We must bring the issue to a conclusion. And therefore, there cannot be usual business as usual, which of course, as I said, I mean, it happens sometime when we have engaged the government, but of course, it was before the time of it used to be my colleague, Her Excellency, the President, Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah. So, yes, she was interesting in her approach to us. Oh, that's the impression we got. And that's why we said, well, look, there were other presidents before her, and we think, and I think in terms of also her own kind of thinking or her own exposure, is that, well, we cannot just continue the same kind of thing all over and over and over. If we start something, we must bring it to a conclusion. And I think that is maybe that's how I understood it.
Government would say most likely that they share the same sentiment as far as the conclusion of, as far as concluding this matter is concerned. But the government seems to be worlds apart with the descendants of the victim of genocide, insofar as particularly the joint declaration and its content is concerned, because it has been described as a joke, it has been widely dismissed. That conclusion will be reached how under such circumstances?
Well, as I say, we have to become serious about what we are doing. Because if you are talking about genocide, it is about people who have been robbed of their possessions, killed, and all sorts of things done to them. Some of them end up in exile, whether it is in neighboring countries like Botswana, South Africa, and so on and so forth. And others were even exported elsewhere. We have some records to say that I remember when I was in Cameroon, there were people whose surnames sounded like the people here. And they say, but how come? Of course, they were slave traders or who took them there.
Absolutely.
That happened. It is not just there, but I mean, if you look at the world which we know, and Africa in particular, I mean, all these atrocities were committed. Whether it is by the Germans or the British or the Italians, the French, you name it. So we come a long way with this. And then the people, of course, some of them, they are no more with us. And we want to see that somehow in our lifetime, we bring this matter to a close. And I think it is in the interest of our country, Namibia, for which some of us, and I think we even were involved in the liberation struggle. Yes.
Well, one of the key issues, the issues of contention, Mr. Kukuri, is the quantum that is contained in that joint declaration. People are saying that really it can never, it's a non-starter. Is that your view too, or are you part of those who say, look, because I've seen some other people saying, look, it's a huge symbolic win for the affected communities to have made that breakthrough, and therefore, because you really can't put a price on human life, that is victory in itself. What is your take? Quantum is enough, or we must renegotiate this whole thing?
Well, the quantum is, I think, there have been submissions on even the revision of the quantum we are talking about. And I think it is, the way I understood is that the current government really want to bring this matter to a close, and we can look at the quantum together and say what is doable under the circumstances. You know, and I think you should be serious about that. That is really the issue.
Yeah. One of the major concerns at the moment, my chief, is that the new conservative government in Germany doesn't seem to be having appetite for this subject. I'm told, as a matter of fact, that there hasn't been any conversation at all around this matter since this new government in Germany took over. Where does that leave us now as a people here? Because we ought to be speaking to someone who's speaking back to us.
Yes. Well, it is interesting to us also to see that the current government of Germany seem to be not at ease with that, because they benefited from the colonization. Today, as you know, maybe you have a farm, but 70% of the land is not even owned by the indigenous people. And in this case, you are talking about even the youngsters who have to make effort to bring about, even we are talking about food self-sufficiency. How do you do that if you don't have even land? That's the sort of thing. You don't have, your possession you have been robbed off or ripped off, and now how do you expect of those people to be satisfied with whatever the quantum they are talking about? The quantum they are talking about is actually about development aid. But this is not, we are not talking about development aid. It's always, it's a preference. It's what those countries want. Because in return for something, we know, you give something and in return for something. But in this case, we are talking about the quantum in terms of, we lost people. We lost possessions. And our people ended up actually in diaspora. They want to come back, but what is for them here? And so will the German government be happy that we somehow now demand immediately from the what do you call these absentee landlords and so on, that they should actually quit? What are they doing here? So, but we don't want to go to those extent. We want to say, well, look, we are people, but as people, we also want that we should be treated like people, and not because we are black. And these are maybe one people, and therefore the color is important. You know what happened to Israel? The Israeli question. When Hitler actually almost extermination order, but the survivors, the descendants, they benefited, and they are still benefiting today.
They continue to benefit.
So why not Africa? Why not Namibia?
Absolutely.
Is that because of the color? What is this?
Absolutely.
So I don't know what they have in mind. I mean, the current government. Why they do not even say, look, let's review the quantum. If you say it's 1.1 and we say, that's not fair, because what can you do? Because I mean, we cannot dispossess the people who are here. We don't want to do that. But we have a willing buyer, willing seller thing. Yes, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
So that's why we really think that perhaps we should really get serious, and we cannot just continue. And that's why the whole thing was business unusual. And I thought my former colleague, and of course now being the head of state, of course want to see some progress, so that in our lifetime we bring this matter to a close for the youngsters, for generations to come. You know, that's why we are also emphasizing on the government, which we are happy, trying to pull the youth into production.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I understand.
And getting them, you know, the necessary training, etc., all the opportunities, and so on.
Absolutely.
Yes.